So you've got a role that you'd like to advertise, but you're not quite sure where to begin. Well, in today's video, I'll be talking you through step by step how to upload a vacancy to Trac. Once you've logged into Trac, you'll land on the home page. To begin, select New Vacancy Request. You'll then be asked to select your employer. Most users will only see one option here. I can see more because I have access to multiple organisations. For today's example, we'll be using a Band 3 Admin Assistant. Now select the grade or band for the role, followed by the discipline. For administrative roles, this usually sits under Administrative Services. Trac will then show you a list of similar roles advertised in the last 12 months. If you see a relevant one, select it, as this saves time by pulling through an existing template. Once selected, click Continue. On this page, several fields will auto-populate. Start by checking the cost code. If it's incorrect, select Change and choose the correct one for your area. If you have a position number, enter it here. Now let's pause on full-time equivalent or FTE, as this is one of the most common areas where mistakes happen. A full-time role is entered as 1. Please don't enter it as 37 or 37.5, as this would mean you're recruiting 37 people. Your recruitment advisor will usually spot this, but entering it correctly avoids delays. You won't need to include the job reference, as your recruitment advisor will do this for you. For the job title, make sure it exactly matches what is written in the job description and it's spelled correctly. You don't need to include the band in the title. Next, select the reason for the vacancy. For example, if the post holder is leaving, select Vacant Post. When you do this, you'll be asked to enter the leaver's name, their notice date and their leaving date. Make sure all of this is completed before moving on. You'll now see a series of authorisation questions. These are reviewed by approvers to decide whether the vacancy can go ahead. This includes questions about how the post is funded, whether the description has been evaluated, who the line manager will be, whether the role is frontline or not, and the estimated start date. It's important that these are accurate to avoid your request being rejected or delayed. Next, choose the advertising scope. Public means the role will be advertised externally on Trac and NHS Jobs. Internal means it will only be visible internally. Restricted is usually for redeployment or retire and return situations. You'll now need to add the authorisers for the vacancy. Each trust has a slightly different process, so check local guidance if you're unsure. Typically, this includes a budget holder, HR, finance, a vacancy authorisation panel, and your recruitment advisor. Make sure you add them in the correct order and double check names and email addresses. Next, select the tab Vacancy Details at the bottom or the top of the page. Confirm whether the role is permanent, fixed term or a secondment. If it's a secondment, remember to include the duration. Select the working pattern, full-time or part-time, and enter the hours per week. If the role involves weekends, nights or other patterns, you can add those details here. Select the correct AFC band. If you know the London weighting, select the correct option. Inner, outer or fringe, and update the salary. If you're unsure, it's fine to leave this section, as your recruitment advisor will check it. Now select any employment checks required for the role. This includes DBS level, professional registration, and occupational health requirements. If the role doesn't require these, select No where appropriate. We recommend entering a proposed advertising date, a closing date, and a proposed interview date. Interview dates are especially helpful for candidates, even if they may change later. You can also set an application cap if needed, with the option to auto-close the advert or review it once the cap is reached. You'll also need to include where the role is based, and you'll need to input information like the site address, postcode and town for the role. Select the appropriate regions to help widen the advert's reach. Next, you'll want to select advert details at the top or the bottom of the page. You'll now need to include your job advert. This includes sections such as the job overview, main duties, working for the organisation, and detailed job description. Most of the information will already be in the job description, but your role is to write an engaging advert. You'll also need to include the hiring manager's contact name, job title, and email address. This allows candidates to get in touch with questions about the role. It's now time to upload your documents. Select the Documents tab at the top or the bottom of the page. You'll then need to upload the final approved job description. Please double check that it's not marked as a draft, it doesn't contain any outdated or discriminatory language, and it's suitable to go out to the public. You can attach other relevant documents if needed. The next step is to upload your shortlisters. Select the Shortlisters tab at the bottom or top of the page. It's best practice for the same people to be selected for the interview panel. Choose a manageable number of shortlisting criteria based on the person's specification. Selecting too many can make shortlisting unnecessarily time-consuming. Standard scoring is usually out of 2, but if you'd like to adjust this, speak to your recruitment advisor. Finally, add any notes you'd like your recruitment advisor to be aware of. Next, select Request Authorization. Your vacancy will move through the approval process. Once approved, your recruitment advisor will review the vacancy and contact you if any changes or additional support is needed. Thank you for watching our video on how to upload a vacancy to Trac. If you have any thoughts, comments, or would like to share some feedback, please let us know.